Cool Kids Club.
The Cool Kids Club. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
The Cool Kids Club.
Yeah, welcome back to.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, I'm getting feedback from
Welcome
somebody.
back to. What's going on, everybody?
Oh, I'm getting feedback from
Welcome
somebody.
back to.
Got it figured out. Okay. All right. Um, welcome back to Dragons of Stormwreck Isle with our Green Street hooligans, who are particularly rowdy, I've noticed.
Key points. Let's go.
All right. Let's turn on. Let's do this. Yeah.
Isn't it our job to make you sweat a little bit? I
God,
thought that.
I hope not. I thought we liked each other. So we had a pretty intense last two sessions with a very interesting story arc with Soup. And we're approaching. I think this will be the penultimate episode of the Dragons of Stormwreck Isle before we move on into bigger parts of the world of Numestria. Would anybody like to do a recap of what happened last? Is anybody teacher's pet today? What's going on? A bunch of anti-authoritarians here. They're like, no, dude, authority sucks, dude. Teacher sucks.
No, I'm sorry. I'm kind of stuffing my face with
Hey,
food. I
take
think
your time, take your
life
time.
has this, though.
Take your time.
I
I actually
think
need
life
food
would make me
myself.
need Draven.
I need food myself.
I think Draven's got this recap.
I wonder if I can order some from the living room. Message my wife real quick. Hey. So
He leads the message off with, "How much do you love me?"
how much do you love me? Yeah. No, never.
You get
I
anything done.
never question that. Nah, man. No.
That's right. Don't ask
don't-
questions that you're afraid to hear the answer to. I feel that.
No, life lesson of the day: don't leverage your wants with other people with like the amount of love that somebody else has for you in a relationship. That's just setting yourself up for failure right there. All right. At least that's how I do. Let's see. So yeah, does anybody want to recap or? No?
So we last left off where we were still on the dilapidated ship. Um, we searched the last room that was on main deck level.
Mm-hmm.
Then searched, took a short rest, searched the crow's nest, discovered some harpies, got into a wonderful combat encounter there. Draven decided that he wanted to take a long walk on a short pier in full plate armor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Darius, because he knew that Draven was charmed, was trying to make him lighter with his wizarding specialty, so that way he wouldn't sink like a lead weight. Eobard, on the other hand, decided, since he was still kind of up in the crow's nest, that Rebecca was indeed his one true love,
Mm-hmm.
and made the leap of leaps, and almost from the crow's nest pulled a Michael Jordan where he just jumped like 50 million feet out into the water.
Off of a back of a duck.
Yes, off the back
The
of a
only
duck.
true water birds in the world
yes.
of Numestria. It's canon.
Yes.
And
Yes,
and just so you know, I'm not the only DM of this world. I didn't even create it. I just am allowed to play in it. So, Ethan, we're sorry. We're sorry we did that to your world. We truly are. Please forgive us.
just realize that every bird that inhabits an aquatic environment is somehow related to the ducks
Is a
in
duck.
some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
In some way, shape, or form. Swans, they're just white ducks with really long necks.
Evil ducks. They're ducks from they're ducks from where demons and devils come from.
No, I think that's Canadian geese.
True.
Um,
True.
So it just reflavor it. It's some way, shape, or form. It's now a duck.
Mhm.
Um, as both Eobard and Draven got to their one true loves, each of them their own separate harpy. Both of them were able to break free of their charms. Darius flipped the switch on Draven being lighter in water to being really chunky,
Uh-huh.
and he and one of the harpies sank really quickly. And harpies don't swim good.
Uh-huh.
Eobard, on the other hand, decided to break the chicken wings that were keeping the harpy afloat,
Uh-huh.
and they both sank. Darius almost got tongue punched again by a ghoul, and did not like that.
Yeah, the
Very
ghoul
much so
came
in the
back.
Dungeon Bear.
I think you made a
I think-
mortal enemy. I think Darius made a mortal
Oh,
enemy.
probably. Absolutely, probably.
I think he was pretty
And,
into it.
Nope, Darius was definitely not.
Why was he blushing though? That's what I want to know.
Because you guys keep trying to describe it as such.
We're shipping it.
hashtag-
We're shipping it.
You guys are absolutely trying to ship it. Hashtag fake news. And Zabolin helped out Darius, and we scared off the ghoul. No idea where he skedaddled off to. In the meantime, Draven hit Puree on one of the harpies and turned to Yik. And Eobard, after breaking a lot of bones in the other harpy, threw her on board, and Draven and Eobard interrogated for a little bit. Darius, not used to this kind of activity, let's just say got seasick.
In a boat that wasn't moving.
in a boat
Shut
that's
up.
stuck on a bunch of dragon
Yes, in a
bones.
boat that's not moving. Seasick here is with air quotes. And we were able to gather some information. We found some goods in the hull below both floors. And Zabolin got the captain's journal explaining what happened. Apparently, his mom made a deal with a powerful entity, becoming a warlord, and it was with the stillborn prince.
Again,
which
content warning
may
here,
or may
guys.
not-
Content warning on this. This
Yeah.
particular bad guy has some parts of theming of
Dark themes.
dark theme, but things that are true about life that most people don't talk about, and that's one of the reasons that I've chose it, is just because it's a thing that many people experience and go through, that it's, it's not, it shouldn't be in the dark all the time.
We found out that in order to lift the curse of the fog and the I guess appeal to undead to come to this area was tied with a talisman of sorts to Zabolin's mom. And we found out that to break the curse was to lay his mom to rest next to his father buried on the island, of which we did. Simon had greeted us there, recovering somewhat well, all things considered, from his plague. And I think that about wraps it up.
Whoa. Drunk Eobard was forced to do a lot of manual labor.
Yeah, that was very funny.
I was sweating
Yes,
rum.
and Eobard drank himself silly with a bottle of rum.
Yeah. Intended to share it, didn't work out that way.
I have more to share.
He does indeed have more to share. He took this one as his power nap break.
Yeah.
We'll say. I think that was majority of it. So we currently left off in Dragon's Rest, where we are indeed resting. We hit the milestone marker of level 3, where we are now planning to kick off with a montage about how we go about level 3.
Yeah, I figured we got.
Everyone loves a montage.
Yeah, dude. Let's. What I hate is whenever not I hate, but one of the things I always didn't like is like, you know, in these games you get new powers and then it's just never explained or whatever. And so I'd like to, let's you guys leveled up. You're stronger now. You're more prepared to head to this observatory. Did we leave anything out that anybody would like to add? No? All right, hold on one second. There we go. I didn't like what my hair was doing, but I also didn't like that my ball cap was like hitting the back of my chair. And I'd like to have good posture.
You seem like a beanie guy.
I wear a lot of beanies. I had trilbies. I have several trilby hats as well.
I don't know what that is.
It's what most people call a fedora. All right.
Eobard needs a hat.
Eobard needs a hat. That sounds like when you guys get to town. It sounds like a mission. Eobard's first mission. I need a hat.
And I am going to tinker with said hat.
Nice. All right. So, as you guys return to the island, or the next day, Soup had you had the dream of both of your parents kind of helping you learn that, this is they've given you all the tools to steer your own ship, and you took your life in your own hands, and it was kind of that symbology of you sailing out of the darkness towards your destiny with you behind the wheel, and that everything they have done and is all led you to the moment of this is now your journey, and it's no longer trying to get through the storm of them being gone, but you being you. We come to the island, and Runara approaches you guys. This time, in her old lady form, but very regal. Well, I've told you that I would reveal to you the happenings before you have come here. You have gained my trust in lifting this curse. And as such, a reward will be given. She calls you into this like extra dimensional space of where her hoard is. This time, instead of in the kitchen, but leading you out to what we see here, the Temple of Regan. This isn't an exact replica, but it's like it's out in the outcroppings of the islands, much like this. Before you came here, I took on a student, another bronze dragon, young. But that is not the only dragon that comes to this isle, for there are many secrets buried here, upon the tomb of Sharuth in this powerful place. I am one of balance and indifference. But they were young. They could not see to hold their spite and angst against another dragon that has come here, and taken up residence in the orrery and observatory. A very powerful place where followers of Sharuth's teachings designed an arcane machine to take the power of celestial bodies and use it for their own devices. Much as Sharuth had done in removing the power of their siblings and taking it for their own. It is said that this machine, when properly powered, has the ability to remove the essence of a creature and imbue it into another. My student went there to fight, to contest this blue dragon Spark Render, and has not returned. This was days before you arrived. A tempest above the orrery, with the lightning calling out. You may have seen this as you arrived. It is only a few days now before the King Killer Star aligns with the other celestial bodies, and the machine is at its full power. And because of this, I will gift unto you, if you intend to stop what is happening, gift is the wrong word. Borrow. I will allow you to use some of the more precious items that I have. If you would agree to this.
I elbow Zabolin and say, shopping spree?
Shopping spree. I got bags of money now.
Mhm.
I did blow my whole inheritance in one day.
Hey, just when you're spending that, bro, remember we're friends.
Oh, what? What was that?
Thank
What's
you.
that word you used? Huh.
Friends. We
Yeah,
are friends.
Yeah,
Zabolin.
yeah. Now that I have money, we're friends. Okay.
We've been friends.
All right. I'll give you a bar an extra little gold piece.
If you would accept these terms, I have powerful artifacts, but they must be returned
When would you like them?
when you are done.
Let's do it.
Return? Is that fine
Yes.
print? When we are done with them, they will be returned.
So is that like a magic spell that reclaims them upon death, or?
It is you making a promise to a dragon
That we will return them when we are done with them.
when you have finished your business at the orrery.
Oh, okay. You're still a bit specific. Okay.
Oh, okay, so we just get to use them until we're done with that drag.
There are many things in here,
Darius,
but the
Darius is just
artifacts
shaking.
must be returned.
Darius is just
Oh.
shaking his head as they try and like wordsmith with the dragon.
Okay, okay. So in exchange, once we're done with these artifacts, right? We can swap it for something else?
You're very quick. Make a persuasion.
Can I also do a persuasion check since I also want to keep something?
You can give him advantage if you'd like.
Have I already leveled?
Yes, we'll go ahead and use your new stats. You can go ahead and use your new stats. You don't have to. We don't have to go back. No, you have to go back to the other ones. You have to go back to the other ones.
17.
17.
And if that's not enough, please tell me. Because I can re-roll.
I will allow you to trade Not the artifact that is being lent to you, but rather something of your possession equal to something of mine.
I hand him Darius.
No, wait. I want a better wizard, not an equal wizard.
So basically what this is going to allow you to do is if you have something maybe that doesn't quite fit, or like a magic item or something that maybe you want to trade out for something a little different, potentially she might have it in her hoard to trade out. Those who would then accept these terms step forth into my sanctum.
Me first. Me. I start jumping up and down excitedly.
All
And I
right.
cut in front of everyone in line.
All right.
Draven silently takes a step forward.
All right. We'll go
Oh,
with.
Yeah.
Is this what we're doing, guys? Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
we'll go in order.
okay, we'll go. Yeah. Because I have to pull up my thing here. Not new mistake. Ah, here we are. As you step forward, Zabolin, there pedestals arise. Okay. There we are. And three columns arise with pedestals at the top. You see a plate, or you see a suit of chainmail armor. You see a great sword. And you see, what was the other thing? Oh. You see a pocket watch.
Those are my 3 options.
Yes. Would you like to know if you would like to know anything of these great artifacts wielded by great warriors of the past?
I reach out
You may ask.
for the pocket watch and inquire about it.
You would like to know.
What is this?
The multiverse is a strange place. Harnessed within this, a small piece of quartz that does not belong here, in this time, nor in this place, but is interwoven. A shard that pierces all times and space, like a needle through many bolts of fabric. Nobody knows the name, truly, of the warrior who wielded this. But with it, they were able to move through those various bits of fabric, unlike any other creature that you have yet to encounter.
I take it and grab the pocket watch.
You want to take the pocket watch?
I do.
This is the pocket watch of Time's Step. As a reaction, you may teleport up to 15 feet to a space that you were previously at during this round of combat. And you can use this ability a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest.
Wait, so teleport. Can you paste it in Discord? And I can
Yes,
copy it in?
it's like, it is basically Echo's ultimate.
That's what I was thinking of.
So yeah. You as a reaction, go ahead and just type this for me if you don't mind, because I
Okay,
have
yeah.
it's not in a thing I can copy paste.
Okay.
Well, maybe I can. Yeah, I can copy paste it.
Or you could provide him the picture.
Copy. I didn't get to make all of them, guys. I'm sorry.
Wow. Only some of us get to be special? I thought you loved us equally.
Nope.
Nope.
He has favorites.
I have favorites. Yeah. All right. This is the Watch of Time step. As a reaction, you can teleport 15 feet to a space that you were previously in this round of combat. You cannot use this ability again until you complete a long rest, but I want you to add a caveat there. You can use it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus.
Okay. Does this reset ailments and stuff like that? Or is it just space? I just move in space back. Or is it reset ailments and like HP
Like
or
damage
whatever?
and stuff.
Yeah. Does it reset my character or does it just move me for my last action?
I am unsure.
Oh, time to test the limits.
The mystery of the traveler through time and space was great.
He's up there on that pedestal, clicking it, teleporting all over.
That's what I was thinking of.
Boom, boom.
All right.
Oh, Dars definitely wants to help you find out.
All right. And because of your great deed and the hardships that you have faced, I have something for you. This was your mother's. And Runara presents to you a rapier.
Let's go.
This is a +1 rapier that has in it a single charge that resets on a long rest, and you may use this charge to cast the jump spell.
Okay.
So this was Tulip's rapier.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great deed that you have done.
Did my dad leave me anything?
She looks at your bag. It smells like he left you a great many things.
She
Got
said
me.
you stink.
Who would be
All right.
next?
I pushed
Draven.
Draven.
Draven stepped forward.
Okay. Draven. All right, Draven. You see, the first thing she does is, I believe that this would belong to you. And she hands you a coin. It has the mask. It is an innate coin carved of bone. It has the wings of a raven and the mask and a mask on it. A tithe of the god who oversees souls.
Thank you, Lady Runara. This means a great deal.
Let me go ahead and just download that. Boop, download, and then I'll drop it in the chat here for you.
Yeah.
I guess I don't need to look at the thing. All right, cool. Go ahead and upload this. Boop. Boop. Here you are. This is Dragorth's Tithe, is the name of this coin. And it's, for some reason, 9 megabytes just for this image.
Holy.
Yeah, it's a very detailed image.
You get 9 megabytes worth of rope? Sick.
Mhm.
How long is 9 megabytes of rope?
Not tithe, like a tenth, like the Roman tenth. There
I
you go.
completely forgot how to spell it.
Tithe. I put it in the chat for you. You see, sitting on 3 pedestals, a shield, a suit of plate armor, and a staff that has a bird's skull and raven feathers on the top.
The plate armor less creepy than the armor he's wearing?
Probably not. No. Um, would you like to know the history of any of these and how the warriors who had them wielded them?
I immediately ask about the skull with the raven feathers.
Anhanguira is its name. This artifact has seen many hands of the apostles of souls and death, last wielded by the great monks of the awakened soul. It has found its way into my hoard. It is a powerful weapon, given that you give a penance, a tithe, an offering to the god that oversees souls. Anhanguira.
Then I'll ask about the armor before I make my final decision.
Mm-hmm. This plate was used by Sir Tristan, great knight of the First Age. A purity within him radiating outwards. He would use this in battle, allowing the enemy to overcome him, only for that to be their demise. As his purity transformed into a luminescence that would blind all those who would bear witness to his combat prowess. Those who are unafraid of the convictions and would bear to look into his eyes would be seared and sundered of their sight. You see like these like lines of like kind of like luminescent and radiant energy like kind of sheening from it, as it almost, as just speaking of it, almost has this like flash and glow.
I think we'll go with Alhamgira.
And and then there's the shield.
I have a magic shield that's pretty useful already. So I may avoid the shields.
Okay. All right. So you want Anhangira?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna download Anhangira.
Dang, what a power move. He didn't even hear out what the shield had.
Neither did Sue.
Yeah,
Sue
Sue
just
just
grabbed the
went
watch.
straight-
He's like, cool, the watch.
Straight to the one.
Yeah. Oh, these aren't weapons. Yeah, freaking weirdo.
Bro, for Soup, it definitely could have just been a magic rock.
This is, as I understand it, this is going into the correct hands. As you grow in devotion and are interwoven with the divinity granted to you and purpose that you have been gifted by the great Shadow King. Anhangira will gain power and grow with you. This is not mine to give or to have returned. You may keep Anhangira even after this. And it is as I was only holding it until the correct recipient had arrived.
Thank
You
you,
will-
Lady Renar.
Who is next?
After you, Aerobard.
I shoot him a dirty look over my shoulder as I mosey on him.
You will be leaving here with more than items. If and when you choose to leave. I think there are many things that you have to learn at this temple. Would you devote yourself to become an acolyte to the teachings of the Way of the Dragon?
I will.
I mean, it's like that easy. Like that's it. Okay, cool or whatever. I mean, you didn't even kneel. Okay. People used to have pageantry. They really did. She snaps.
I didn't mean to offend you, Lady Renara.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool. Whatever.
Velma has yet to teach me enough of the ways.
I
If
know,
you
and
were to
she
blame
bowed.
anyone-
She
blame
wept
her.
even. Like, she wept a little. Like, she was hiding it, but we all knew.
It's an orc thing.
Okay, whatever. I mean, and she snaps her fingers, and like this brilliant, like all these pillars come out of the gold and jewels and reveal these items. You see a katana sitting on on there. You see a hat, like a rice hat, like a samurai's hat, sitting there, and you also see a pair of hand wraps sitting on there. What would you ask of these things?
Aerobard did ask for a hat.
Tell me about that katana.
From Yuan Su, there is a secret teaching. A steel folded, not by fire, but of ki. The weave chooses those who are the purest of mind and body, forged in a fire of its own, folded in a way that can only be done through a master's hand. It vibrates at a frequency that only a master martial artist can summon through their ki. A master philosopher and one devoted to a way. Enhancing. It is said that it still holds the key of its wielder, who sacrificed a bit of themselves into it. And she pulls out this scroll, and there's like those carvings, those Japanese kind of like a story, and you see this samurai kind of riding out this big like silken plume behind them, and all these arrows bouncing off of it, right? Because it's like in a parachute. It rips, and they jump off their horse, kind of covered in arrows, and it falls to the ground, and they look up, right? as the sun becomes blotted out with arrows, they snatch one arrow and snap it in their hand. Another one hits them in the shoulder. They turn their head down, the hat over their eyes, and then they look up and you see just all these like silvery lines and marks as the key is moving from their body and into the blade that they use to catch the arrow, and instead are cutting them in half. As if they're extending their ability to use their key to stop projectiles into the blade to cut them.
Okay, that's. Ugh.
Would you like to know of any of the others?
Yes, tell me about the hat.
This is a gift, Eobard. You're missing hair, right? And you blister
I don't.
in the Mediterranean sun. So really,
I don't want to talk about.
it's not like a choice. Like, I was going to give this to you anyway. Here. You will know when to use this. And she hands you a rice hat. A cool monk rice hat. This hat allows you to use your reaction to basically cast the shield spell once. Right? The hat will be destroyed when you use it, but you increase your AC by 5, right? So you cast shield, and you move yourself up to 5 feet in any direction. So it's like when you're watching an anime and there's like a blade out of nowhere and the samurai's walking, and all of a sudden the hat comes in two, and they're like standing backwards in a dominant position, and just the hat got cut instead. That's what this does. Right? So if you're ever caught by surprise, or you're ever like there's ever an attack that you weren't, that you didn't see coming, you can sacrifice the hat to move yourself out of the way of danger without provoking attack of opportunity, and to basically absorb the attack, right? Or hopefully it increases your AC by +5 when you use it until the beginning of your next round. So maybe you just have like a little slash on your face or something. Who knows? Who knows? But until then, you have this rice hat.
Oh, I love the hat.
So that leaves the sword and the hand wraps.
Tell me about the hand wraps, please.
This is Icarus. These are the hand wraps of the martyr. Full name, like Icarus, hand wraps of the martyr. I was a little unclear, I'm sorry. Icarus, hand wraps of the martyr. These are dangerous. All those who have ever wielded them. And she pulls out another scroll, and you see this, you see warriors fighting, and then in the end, stone statues of them being immortalized, like in lines and temples.
Oh, fuck.
These are extremely powerful, and the more power you draw from them, the closer you get to the sun, the more danger you are in. And you see you see somebody getting into a fight, and things begin, like a blade comes down, and their hands turn into stone, and they catch it, right? And they break the blade, and they continue to fight, and more enemies begin to overwhelm them, and you see their legs become stone as they begin using them as well, and you see fire coming in, and they're blocking it, and you see blades coming in, and they're stopping them, and then you see they begin to overwhelm, and you see their torso also turn into stone as they're being overwhelmed, and they're trying to be thrown to the ground, but they're too heavy. And then at the end, as the horde is coming onto a small village, and you see the boats kind of still needing time to move away, the entire person becomes stone, invincible and impervious to the attacks as spears are breaking off of them. And as the last boat sails away, they become completely frozen into a statue. And you see the story repeated over and over and over.
Lady Runara, these hand wraps seem to wield great power,
Mm-hmm.
but at dire consequence.
Yes.
If I were to take it too far, handling this mission you've sent us on, would you be able to reverse it?
I do not possess that power.
Do you know who does? Oh, great and all-knowing Runara. I kneel.
See, this is more like it, right? Like, she looks at all of you. Like, right? This is what I'm talking about. A little respect around this place.
I motion to the rest of the squad to kneel too.
Come on, guys. Guys.
Show some respect!
I kneel before no one but my god.
It has been a long time since I have left this island. And the great sages and healers that I once knew about have passed in the centuries that I have been guarding this place. If there is someone who holds the power to reverse this, I would not know of them.
Did you know of someone back in the day that could have? Simply knowing someone out there is capable might be enough.
Before the Church of Newa fell to its corruption and its structure, there were many acolytes. Before the war, whenever of the blue flame, before many of our strongest gave their lives to defeat our enemy and protect this place, there may have been. Seeking them would be your own choice. That, and I could give you no guidance.
With a power of this level, it doesn't feel right to make this decision on my own. If you would allow me a moment to think it over with my team.
Cool, I got all day.
Darius, come here. Come here.
I trot up. As I come up, I give a little
Are you like
quick head bow.
Are you
dragon.
like keeping bent over a little bit or like scooching on your knee, you know?
No. I when Eobard said, guys, kneel. Darius was not kneeling because he wasn't up yet to receive, but since he's having to come up a little prematurely, just like a quick little light jog and then just a quick little head nod.
That's funny. It's like a 5-foot jog, like okay.
Pretty much. That is where Darius cuts off at exercise. Let's be honest.
I hand Darius the scroll and kind of summarize it. She's offering me these hand wraps that grant me amazing power, but it looks like the more I use it, the more I turn into a stone statue until permanently a stone statue. And I'm looking for your opinion on this level of power and its potential necessity, and your willingness to help me solve it, as well as any further information you may.
Can I roll a history check on these or no?
Sure, yeah. See if you know anything about the Icarus hand wraps of the martyr.
21.
I think you have never heard of these particular hand wraps. Okay. But you would have heard about great healers with the ability to reverse what you are interpreting as petrification.
Yeah.
As, you know, that there is a way to reverse petrification, but you would need a strong healer.
Right. Do I know like where those stories originated from? Like where in New Mestria is Carmen San Diego? Like
they did not originate in New Mestria.
Okay.
And that's the
Also-
thing.
Also wave
Yuan
up our
Su is a
cleric.
strange word. Like, you've never heard of Yuan Su either.
Gotcha.
I also wave up our cleric and see what he knows about petrification. Because healer and all.
Let's see, what type of role would that be?
Oh, I also wave up Zabolin so he doesn't feel left out.
That would be
Huddle.
either a
Huddle.
medicine or an arcana, most likely leading into arcana. But medicine, arcana, or religion would probably be there. Whatever you feel would be. Would-
Like it, probably a medicine check, because I would feel like it would be something medically able to be done about it, like a potion or something of that nature.
Yeah, go ahead. You've
12.
never dealt with anything as strong as petrification. Ever. I mean, you've dealt with like souls, but never like the physical. The physical body is something that you didn't deal with while you were spending your time in, basically in the afterlife, right at the gates of the afterlife with Dragorth. This is not something that you've dealt with. You're not sure.
Ultimately, team. This needs to be a team decision in my eyes because of the consequence. Right?
I will put my hand on Eobard's shoulder. He's probably I think a little bit. How tall are you?
6 foot.
Oh yeah, slightly taller. I'm at 5'10". So slightly up. Eobard, I would help you should any ill will fall before you. And I think I can say this for the rest of us. We're here with you when you needed help the most, and I think we'll all definitely be there to continue helping you. That said, and I take my hand off your shoulder, I do know that there are spells that revert people from stone and cure curses. Well, I don't know if they will work on their own. I do know that there are potentially healers in some far off land capable in the past of doing this, and we could definitely try and seek out those answers. But I don't think there's anyone on this continent capable of doing that.
I think that's good enough of an answer. Lady Renara, I believe I've chosen the hand wrap. But keep that katana nice and warm. I'll be back for it.
An artifact for an artifact. This is my horde. All right. So.
Your horde, our horde. The horde.
Eobard gets eaten.
Yeah, I elbow Eobard in the gut, like,
All right.
God, fuck, man. Fuck. Guys, I'm gonna overuse this thing and get turned into stone.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right.
Okay, like Icarus, right? It's when you get too close to the sun. Do baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
You know?
That's great. We're about to go fight a dragon.
All right. There are 4 stages of the Icarus hand wraps, which are not on this sheet that I just gave you. Okay? They have other abilities as well, passive abilities that you can see right here whenever you pull it up. I just posted it for you.
Okay.
Oh, it didn't get the it didn't get the last little bit, which was who actually quoted, whose quote this is at the
Where
bottom.
did you post that? Oh.
Yeah. So at the bottom, 100% of the time, pain is a construct of the brain, and then it's supposed to be. I could re-download it and just send it back to you, which I'll just do. There we go. But it's the quote is from Velma, the Forgiven.
So these are all just passives?
As yes, if you read it. Well, then there's as an action.
Yeah. That's super.
Now, how it's activated is, you know, how the stone portion activates is as an action. When you use that action ability, that's whenever the it happens, right? That's whenever you start, and there are additional bonuses that you get when you do that each time, right?
Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm reading this right. Is the key portion that's the next sentence down part of the action?
As an action, you may take damage equal to your level and regain key points equal to your proficiency bonus. That's whenever you start to stone. If you do that too many times, if you do that on the fourth time, is whenever it happens. Is whenever, like, each time you use that ability that's whenever the stone starts to occur. And there's additional bonuses on top of that, on top of just gaining your key points, right? But they're kind of a mystery because it's not like the people who use them, who do that ability, are able to pass it along, right?
So the part about when I use my key on my turn, is that
that's
only when I use
passive.
the action?
When you use your key on your turn, that's a passive.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
top one's a passive. The middle one is the active. It's good. I told you, that's why you have to return these, by the way. I can't have you like continuing the adventure and like trying to scale everything to this. But this also, I want you guys to know, this is this particular encounter has been scaled to this. Okay? This particular encounter has been scaled with these abilities in mind. Alright? Alright. You take the hand reps. And last, Darius.
When she says my name, I take a deep bow.
She bows as well. You have gifted me. You've charged me, rather, with keeping something very dangerous. And I understand what it takes for someone like yourself to let go of a power so deep, rather than understand it. And for this, I trust you. 3 pillars come out of the gold and coins. The jewels spill over. The Elden Magus Warstaff, wielded by only the most learned of the Elden Vale during the Carnean War. Um, Draven and Eobard, roll me a history check. Ethan, get ready to potentially change your Tuesday game or your Wednesday game based on this history check.
I don't think Ethan is in the call.
He's not,
I
but
don't know.
they're watching. I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure
Okay. I
they're
was gonna say,
watching.
I'm pretty sure he's probably gone.
Yeah. You guys do not recognize this from the Carnaean War. This was wielded as protection to keep a company safe as they marched forward. Extremely powerful and rare. She motions over to a fine spalder, or pauldron, made of leather, covered in arcane runes. This is the spell goddess Stalwart, from an age long ago. The spell garden. Not the greatest people, honestly. I mean, they were like very manipulative, you know. If anybody wants to history check the spell garden, they can.
I will. Do you want me to do it right now
Yeah,
or
that's fine.
in a second? Okay.
You can do it now. What'd you get?
Draven got a 17. I got a 19.
19. The spell garden were from the Second Age, and they were a political party in one of the larger civilizations, mostly human, and they sought to protect people from the dangers of arcane magics. And what came to light was a conspiracy where they were granting powers to hedge mages, giving them items and coins, giving them like items that would make their power uncontrollable and dangerous, and causing havoc to the general public, so that they could point and say, see how dangerous this is. This is why, and then like protect the people from the things that they're creating, like a firefighter starting its own fires, right?
Yeah.
This is what we seek to protect you from. But the magus, or the protectors of the spell garden, would wear these ornate items that would protect them from blades and bludgeons, arrows. But more than that, it was able to absorb the weave that was being wielded against them and hold it for themselves, harness it, negating its effects entirely until they sought to use it for themselves. And the braces of the Hex Magus, you see these fine bracers covered in arcane runes, fitted with all kinds of jewels that have been cut into like sacred geometry to have the weave move through them. Of the first magocracy, whenever the weave overtook divinity, civilizations arose and warred with each other. And every army needs a front line. Sending into the front line the Hex Magus. Typically not suited for hand-to-hand combat, but these warriors were feared because they had nothing to lose. They would take prisoners, murderers, sociopaths. And instead of leaving them to rot, place these braces on them. The more they fought, the more blood that they shed, the more that they could. Blades not penetrating into the skin as far, or even healing before the very eyes of the berserkers that they were fighting. These Hex Magus thrived in melee combat, and these bracers were the key components. And instead of running after the battles were done, the thirst for combat and conflict kept them on the front lines as some of the most dangerous warriors, as the more powerful and strongest would sit in the back casting spells. These braces of the Hex Magus, extremely potent. Which would you choose?
So I don't think that this is even necessarily a choice for Darius.
I think kind of for you, Rox. The
Oh,
Elden
yeah.
Magus staff was able to protect
No,
multiple people.
the staff is what I'm going for. I'm just trying to think
The
of in character.
the Spellgarden Stalwart protected the individual and also protected them from magic itself, and then would turn that magic against those trying to cast it on them. And the bracers of the Hex Magus allowed an individual to persevere through combat. The more they fought, the stronger and more durable they became. So the longer the combat went, it seemed as if the Hex Magus were unstoppable. The more bloodshed that occurred to them and that they incurred,
Yeah.
and then they inflicted.
Yeah, like a mage juggernaut.
Yes. Yes. Oh, almost like God, I don't even know if there's a League character that as they did like a set or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where
Well, I meant juggernaut from like X-Men, but a mage version of that.
not quite not quite like that. So like the Spellgarden Stalwart is kind of like Silas, where you are able to somebody cast a spell at you, it's now your spell.
Mm-hmm.
And and you negate the effects of it, and then get to turn it against them. The Elden Magus Warstaff was used to create a safe space so that complicated rituals were able to be conducted amidst a battlefield, and the Hex Magus bracers were used by individuals to take on multiple and to continue to fight regardless of how many enemies they fought. All of these are extremely cool and powerful, will make you way more durable and have their own like little specifics.
Yeah. I became a wizard so that I could better help the lives of those around me. I think it's only fitting that I do take this staff. I've only sought to understand the world so that way people may suffer less in it. And I go to reach for the staff.
It fits in your hand, and you can immediately feel the power of the high elven prowess within it. The Elden Magus Warstaff. It is a +1. This isn't on here. It requires attunement, and it is a +1 spellcasting focus. Okay. Right. It contains a reservoir of pure abjured weave that can shield up to 5 times your proficiency bonus of HP and damage. Of HP damage, right? You may use an action to plant this weapon in the ground and release this energy. And while it is planted and undepleted, a 10-foot diameter shield appears in all directions. Creatures can pass through it undisturbed, but it absorbs up to its maximum charges of damage from all sources. Creatures inside gain a +2 to their AC for the duration, and a long rest will restore 1d4 HP of the energy back to it. And the charges are equal to 5 times your proficiency bonus of HP.
Okay. As I grab and hold, I thank her for letting us borrow.
I think you would have liked the Spellguard Stalwart better.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, me as a player, I really think that was probably like the coolest one. But
here's what I'm gonna
me
do.
as in character.
Here's actually what I'm gonna do. Because you gave Runara the blue flame that you had captured, you're just by touching them, it's almost as if you detect magic on them. And I'm gonna actually give you. And also, here's another thing, a little bit of a DM doodad, a little DM thingy. Darius is the weakest amongst you guys, and yes, and in any amount of damage that this motherfucker takes could be lethal at any point. But whereas it might not be lethal for another player. So I'm going to allow you to know basically what they do and allow you to choose based off of that. The Spellguard Stalwart gives you it's a +1 spellcasting focus. It gives you +1 to your AC, and whenever you take a dodge action, you may move an additional 5 feet. You may absorb a spell of level 1 or lower into this item, along with any meta magic or enchantments that are attached to it, as a reaction to being targeted by a spell, right? Or having to make a saving throw against it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to make an Arcana check against the DC or what they rolled to hit you, and if it's successful, and the amulet is empty, then it's counterspelled, and you absorb it and store it inside there. The stored spell must have a casting time of an action or less, and casting the stored spell, and you can cast that spell as an action, and it remains until dawn, so it remains for a day. So you can cast your own spells into it. You can capture another person's spell, or
Yeah.
it absorbs magic and keeps you safe. Bracers of the Hex Magus. They are a +1 spellcasting focus. Requires attunement. Whenever you deal damage, you gain your proficiency bonus as temporary HP. It has a charge. It has 1 charge of Blade Ward and 1 charge of the shield spell in it. Spending 10 minutes or a level 1 spell slot replenishes both charges of these spells. Spending 10 minutes and a level 1 spell slot or higher will give you Blade Ward and shield back. So basically you get a free Blade Ward and a free shield while you're wearing these. And every time you deal damage, you gain your proficiency bonus as temporary HP.
Does the temp HP?
Temp HP does not stack.
Okay.
But
I didn't think so. I was just asking.
It doesn't stack, but it is. It adds up quick, because if you deal damage every turn, that's just boop, and then you take damage every turn, that's adding up quick.
Yeah.
And then, but you also have Blade Ward, which gives you resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. as a reaction. And and the shield spell is also inside it. And neither of those cost a spell slot. It is currently charged with both, right? And if you spend 10 minutes and a single spell slot, you can get both of those spells back, right? So you can't do it mid-battle, but you can do it like, you know, in the area before the boss fight kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever weird wonky shit if you want to try to charge it, you know what I'm saying? Like so these are all of these are subject to weird wonky cool player storytelling stuff that you want to do with them, you know? Like make it cool for me and I'm probably going to say yes.
Let me dragon's breath into your amulet, and then you whip out dragon's breath.
Yeah. We might need to make it because it's not supposed to function like that. Maybe an Arcana check involved or something, but hey, who knows, right? Who knows?
Or,
what?
you know,
This
I
is
just
a
spit
world-
fire at
Wait,
Darius
wait.
and we see.
This is a world of imagination, you know? This is a world of imagination. Why not?
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie. When he was describing the spell garden stalwart before even like posting anything, that's exactly what I was thinking. Was like, dragon goes lightning breath, and I
Absorb the
Friggin-
lightning breath.
Kirby. Yeah, just Kirby just nom it and then just
Yep. Spit it back. Yeah. I mean, you know.
Hey, I have
that
a
may be
question
it.
about the wording.
I was definitely
on
thinking
Icarus.
along.
On the Icarus.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it about how it's intended to be used, or how I've accidentally worded it for not how it's intended to be used?
No. It's about how it's intended to be used. I'm confused on the second passive.
When you use a key on your turn, you add your martial arts die to all acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison damage that you deal and receive until the beginning of your next turn. So you
does
become.
that mean I take more damage when that passive
If
is
you
active?
if you take until the beginning of your next turn, if you were to take one of those damage types, you would receive more. Remember, these are of the martyr, but you also deal more at the same time. So for a turn, you're like you make other people vulnerable to that damage, right? Well, it's your
It's essentially reckless, but for
Yeah,
that damage type.
it's like a barbarian's reckless assault. Yeah.
Yes. It makes them take more. It makes your stuff more powerful, but because you are allowing your key to become part of the evocation of the weave, you are allowing yourself to be a lightning rod, right?
Yeah, I was
So-
just making sure I was
yeah.
reading that right, and it wasn't like I reduce it by my martial arts die or what.
No. You receive it.
And then
Receive.
on the
Deal
active,
and receive.
when I use that action to trigger the active, I
To-
take 3 damage.
Is that what your proficiency bonus is right now?
No.
Or no,
it
is
says
it your
as an
level?
action, I'd take it. Yeah.
Yes,
equal to
you
my
would take
level,
3 damage. You would
and
take
then
3
I get
damage.
all my key points.
And then you would get 2 key points back. Yep. So, which is super fucking powerful for a monk. Also, it engages 1 level of the stone,
Yes.
right? Which has added benefits to it that you just don't know yet. Like you don't know what they are, but your hands are stone, so we can imagine what. And then your legs, and then your torso, and then your head, right? So like as you continue on, again, it seemed like when they were fully stone that they were able to fully do stuff for a while and were completely impervious to all damage. They were insane. They were in an insane warrior all of a sudden, but then they would be completely petrified.
Okay.
So
You gave me entirely too much power.
did I?
Yes.
Last time I gave you guys unlimited power, like you guys, you guys
I
got.
was unconscious.
You were
I didn't have
unconscious.
unlimited
Yeah,
power.
I would have changed the world, bro.
I rejected it.
Darius,
Yeah.
Darius would
Soup
be my
said
pet
I don't want
condor if I had
any.
that power.
Like, I had to yell at rocks.
Again, if I had that kind of power, Rox would no longer be a wizard. He would be a pet condor. On my shoulder.
All right. So now, so guys, you have a couple days to play with your new abilities and to get ready. What would you guys like to do? Brunara also tells you exactly where the observatory is on the island. She reveals it to you. It's a short trek away. You guys can, if you guys wanted to scope it out or something, this and that, you know.
Is she able to give us any kind of information about the dragon that's there that we're going after? I mean, she told us that's what we're going to fight, right?
It's a blue dragon. Sparkrender
Okay.
is a blue dragon. More powerful and quicker than any human being. Much larger than any of you humanoids. Can fly, intelligent, spiteful. This is not a stupid creature. This is not an owlbear. This is the intelligence of a blue dragon is equal to or greater than many of the people that you have known. They're not gonna fight stupid. They're not gonna they can fly. They can pick you up and drop you knowing you can't fly. They can breathe lightning. They're extremely strong, fast, fierce. And they have and Sparkrender particularly has their sights set on removing the power of another dragon, her student, with this device. So that Sparkrender probably is going to take her student, and if the ritual is completed, remove the power of that bronze dragon, the young bronze dragon, and put it into themselves if the ritual comes to conclusion, becoming some sort of hybrid.
Does she give us kind of as specific damage types that he does not like as a blue dragon? Maybe.
Well, they like lightning damage, so stuff that's not lightning damage. If you're asking if they have like a vulnerability, they really don't.
So they would be most likely immune to lightning.
Yeah.
But they are able to see in complete darkness with everything around them. They are extremely perceptive. And that they are on the cusp of and here's like the largest part. This is the observatory has become their lair. And when a dragon is in its lair, that is when it's at its most powerful. So in this fight, there will be lair actions, which means that at the beginning of the initiative order, or on initiative count 20, Sparkrender won't be doing something. Their lair will be doing something. The place that you're in will be moving forward with Sparkrender's will. This includes Sparkrender being able to call forth its minions. The kobolds that you have seen on the island are very kind. They are part of Renara's following and horde. What Sparkrender is doing is they are multiplying quickly.
Okay.
She hasn't been there herself. She hasn't been there herself, but if she guessed, there may be hundreds, as they can multiply very quickly if given the correct resources.
What do I
real
know?
quick.
Oh, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
This is as a player, like meta concept,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Sure.
Gear was to say, hey, these are the three options. To you guys as the party.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and talk. I'm gonna grab something to drink.
Do you have any preference? Yeah. Do you guys have any preference one way or the as to which of the three items I take?
Man, just don't go down. That's all I know.
I think that's the point of all of them.
I think I have a plan to neutralize a lot of the damage. I don't know if Justin's gonna make me roll for the knowledge or not, and it's questions about how things. If this thing if its lightning breath works like normal electricity, and if Eobard knows enough about the way electricity works, would it be feasible for maybe me to find some rubber here at Dragon's Rest and turn one of Zbolin's swords essentially into a lightning? That way he can cover up the handle so he's got rubber to hold on to so it doesn't get to him, but holding it straight up would draw the electricity to it and render it moot. Or even, I've still got this 4-foot iron rod. Could we turn it into a lightning? Set it up.
That's super cool. All right, did you just ask if you could like truck bed liner the dragon?
No. I wanted to wrap one of Zbolin's swords, like the hilt of it, in rubber.
Oh, interesting.
So he could lightning rod.
Well, I mean, you have a couple days. You are a tinkerer. You have, I mean, I don't know what everybody else's tool sets are, but I mean, you have, there's another tinkerer on this island. There's a chemist here with a full chemistry set. I mean, you guys do have a couple things at your disposal, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to chick that gives Zbolin explosives. I don't remember her. Talk to her all of.
Explosives
My
and
drug dealer.
drugs.
Yeah, my drug dealer. God, you still have those, don't you?
Oh yeah. I was
Oh
gonna
my
trade
God.
in.
Zbolin, no. Let's drug the dragon.
I know. I was down to trade in some drugs for another artifact and just get high together.
Bro, you can cast jump. I can already jump. We both just get up there. Each of us have one ready to feed this thing. Dragon's got to pick one. The other one just yeets it on in there.
You'd like to try to weaponize them?
Yes.
I'm gonna say in 3 days, you will probably only be able to craft like one thing, depending on how, like, because there's no just rubber here, right?
Yeah.
So you would have to try to use potentially like Simon's knowledge and chemistry and also Myla is the kobold, and her and so what she might have available to her in her workshop to do the things that you're trying to do, right?
Mila's definitely the plan to put together a lightning rod. Simon is the plan to weaponize the drugs Mila gave us.
Simon can't weaponize them. He may be able to craft it into something that could be like forced, maybe like injected, like a blow dart gun or whatever. He may be able to make it like into a stable serum, or thrown into the mouth, or however, turn into a gas. However you guys would like to, have the dragon ingest them, right?
Oh, I got this.
The physiology, and then and also change it to affect the physiology of a dragon, right? Because that's different than like a humanoid.
Oh, I need to have a conversation with Zbolin and Simon. This needs to happen.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on to that, and this will be your preparation. Okay, so, Zbolin, is that what you want to do for your prep?
Yes, I would like to turn the dust into some other form.
To weaponize it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna give Darius my iron rod, the 4-foot iron rod, and briefly go over the lightning rod strategy for him to take to Mila.
We can only do so much here. We can only prepare so much. We're limited time, right?
Yeah,
I know.
you also have to go through your monk montage.
A monk montage. Okay, it happened. This is so much cooler. I swear this is cooler. Especially if it works. This is so much cooler. Actually,
through
I
my
need
montage.
Velma. I need Velma in this conversation with Simon and Zabola.
So I need to be
I'm not-
Simon and Velma talking to both of you guys.
I'm so sorry. You're gonna think it's super cool when I start explaining.
All right. Tell me what
I rolled a
happens, guys.
D3. I'm going with War Staff.
You're gonna stick it? Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm just
gonna
gonna
stick with-
give Eobard 2 packets out of my 3 of Arcane Dust,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go practice with my time and space manipulation as well as my new Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Okay.
Shadow clone
Oh.
jutsu.
Let's start there.
I really.
That sounds cool. Tell us what that's like. Tell us what we see here over the next couple days.
I have a
Quick
animated
question,
video if you want me to
Zabola.
show you.
Yes. Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's plagiarized off Naruto.
Oh, okay.
It's literally, I was literally gonna show you the scene where he just fails to make Shadow Clones and then makes like 10,000
Where's that?
of them. Well, I don't know. It's like the first episode.
Was it
Naruto.
Naruto?
It's like,
Or...
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
But I start trying, just see me in the
Zabola.
woods with Mup, Flup, and whatever.
You can't even remember their names? Mumpo, Flub, and Blep?
Their
Mumpo,
names are
Frub, and Blep.
MF,
Wait, Zabola.
whatever. What's up?
I would definitely like to partake in the start of this because you had straight up asked, does this remove status ailment?
Sure. So basically, it's gonna be a montage of Doris. You want to punch me in the face, or do you want to do something else?
Oh, I am going to be casting Hold Person on you and seeing if this works out.
What? Please,
Alright.
please put hold person.
I absolutely will. With pleasure.
Bro, who opens a bag
Oh,
of chips like that, you heathen?
I'm a freaking psycho, bro.
I know.
About
You
to
look like
kill
you
you with
took
a
the
dragon.
bag. You look like you took the bag and just bit into the side of it and then started licking the chips out of it.
You wish.
I've seen dogs eat chips cleaner than that. Jesus.
So choose a humanoid you can see. Wisdom saving throws or be paralyzed.
All right. Go ahead. Are you gonna? Is Zabolin going to resist?
Not at all. I'm gonna go ahead.
All right. You're paralyzed. Let me just look up paralyzed. Conditions: paralyzed. A paralyzed creature is incapacitated and can't move or speak. It automatically fails strength and dex. Attack rolls have advantage, and any creature that hits it is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet. Incapacitated. You can't take actions, bonus actions, or reactions. So basically, so you get paralyzed and you can't push the watch. You just like,
I can't do shit.
and you're just fucking stuck until he stops concentrating.
Yeah, I asked Doris to come help me test this, and he uses Hold Person. I'm like,
So
wait.
You just
I
can't
can't.
move.
So-
Alvin.
after I paralyze him, I go up and I push the button for him.
Oh shit. What's your spell save DC?
14.
14. All right.
If I'm
Roll
if I'm
a
having the
roll a Constitution saving throw for me, Zabolin.
me,
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
thank God.
Zabolin. 17. Describe to me the strange, weird thing of like moving through multiple different times and then finding yourself because you're in the same spot, kind of, right? Or did you like
Yes.
run up? You ran up to it like you were running at him.
I'm gonna run to try and tackle him. I'm gonna try and run to tackle him.
And you just like poo poo as he hits like fucking whole person on you. You just like slide across the ground.
Yep.
And then Zabolin's like, or I mean, Darius is like, huh, boop, and he pushes the watch. Describe to us what happens as you go back to the beginning of your run and are unparalyzed.
Basically like a second version of myself lifts off in reverse, reverse running, reverse falling, gets up, and I can see my still paralyzed body on the floor as I'm like doing this whole reverse thing. I'm feeling it, and then all of a sudden, in a snap, you just see like almost a rubber band snapping back.
Uh-huh.
The other body just shoots inside me, just like a little that, and I look around, and it's I'm back where I started.
And a bit of your like your shadow clone comes out of you and back into you whenever the other thing.
I got knocked back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're now unparalyzed. You're no longer under the effects of whole person.
I charge him again.
I think it works.
I charge him again.
I cast hold person again.
But this time, since I learned from my mistake, I have summoned a shadow clone behind him.
Nice. And like trade places.
No. Yeah. So he does that, and I trade places with the other shadow clone.
Nice.
And I kick Darius in the back of the knees.
Make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw. Sorry, it was Wisdom the whole time, not Constitution, but that's okay.
Correct.
Wisdom 0. No, you get frozen again.
Hey, you both. I completely miss. And he's like miss, and I now.
You're like behind him though, but frozen.
All right. My clone gets up, like dusts himself off, looks up at Darius, shakes his head. It's like, damn, I'm fucking useless. Walks over, presses the button for me.
Pushes the stopwatch.
Yeah, for me.
And we just spend a day doing this.
Yeah, we just do this day until I get it right and I can actually.
Until they actually tackle
try
him.
different angles. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. That's so fun.
And on the whole time while that's doing it, Molden's on the side, just watching, like, back and forth, like his head back and forth.
All right, so we know this is what we learn over the course of these next 3 days, is that your pocket watch will allow you to, if you're able to press it, retry a saving throw. We know that, but we didn't learn anything about the damage you might take. Next, what do we next?
Well,
Who's next?
I was gonna caveat
This is your
about
3
the end
days.
of the training.
The
This is your
second
3
day.
No,
The second day.
This
He
is
kicks
your
me in the face.
This is your 3 days, Darius. So whatever you would like to do, or whatever you'd like to try to accomplish over the next 3 days, the one thing you'd like to try to accomplish over the next 3 days,
Wait.
is it
Can I-
find out more about the watch, or is it something else?
1 second.
It's-
Can I
it's
caveat
something else.
that was only the first day, and the second day and the third day I get help from both Life and Eobard, so they also have an understanding of what I do.
It's like we'll have to figure it out on the battlefield, and that's more exciting.
Eobard, punch me in the face right now. Do it.
His whole head explodes with lightning.
No, I've got other spells that would do actual damage.
But this is the one we were
But
trying. I love
Alright,
that.
alright.
Yeah.
We let the
Alright, fine.
let the
That is
narrative play out.
That is a reset. I at least have that information.
You at least
And I can. And
will-
wait,
I
and we
will say
confirmed
this.
my clone can click the stopwatch as well. We confirmed that as well.
correct.
Ooh, yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
I will-
Can
I will
interact.
say
Okay.
Yep. You're
that.
correct.
that's
Can I
important.
make a caveat?
Uh-huh.
Can I make a caveat to the first time where he got paralyzed and kind of fell on his face?
Sorry, we're already past
You-
it. We're already past it. Come on, let's move forward. What who's you're talking, Darius? What would Darius like to do? Oh, with his 3 days.
So Zabolin has been kind of dicking around with Darius whenever he gets knocked unconscious.
Mhm.
And B, Zabolin still has a compass, compass.
Mhm.
So when he first got paralyzed, Darius would like to pocket the compass
Uh-huh.
and then click it.
To see if the
day
compass
2,
goes back onto him.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, but sorry, we didn't make that canon the first time
That's
around.
fair.
So you'll have to figure that out in the fight. Oh, it'd be crazy. It's like we'll have to make it exciting then too. What would Darius like to do with his time? Are you trying to figure out more about this watch, or are you trying to do something else? You gotta
No.
pick one. Okay.
No.
All right.
Doing something else.
Okay.
I would like to go speak with Lady Runara
Mhm.
and try and go back to like her treasure hoard, and then
I'm sure you'd like to get into the
paint
dragon's treasure
top.
hoard.
No, mostly because that's where she feels comfortable being a dragon.
Sure. What are you trying to do,
but
Yeah, that's the only
Uh,
reason.
though? Uh-huh.
no,
You're trying to paint and talk to
because-
her, but what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
What we're trying to accomplish?
Exactly that. I would like to paint a bust essentially on like a canvas,
All right. Okay.
as well as take the sketch that I made for Draven and paint that on the canvas as well.
Okay. And you're
And
just
then
trying to befriend Runara at this point.
Correct.
Go ahead and make me 3 persuasions, but
Oh,
all
jeez.
3 with advantage.
Oh, thank God.
And we'll see, and we will see how close that you get to Runara as you try to make a dragon your ally.
Big money, no whammies. Okay.
There's a 15.
15.
First day goes well. She laughs at a joke you make.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Be funny, Darius. Be funny.
That's what we're hoping
she
for.
She laughs at you being funny unintentionally. 20.
A dirty
20.
Me?
On with a 20, you got she inquires more about your life in the Zakir Desert and your family with genuine interest.
Yeah, of which I do oblige, telling her about my upbringing, that we're a well-off mercantile family, things of that nature.
Mhm.
Again, about how older sister as well as younger brothers and sisters, and things of that nature about Zakir.
Okay.
And the last one is a 21.
And on the last day, you gain her trust, and she believes that in your sincerity, and really knows you and learns you. She like you guys both gain an understanding of each other, right? As she also insights what you're doing, and she also insights like your true desire and intention, regardless of purpose, what outcomes might come of you. You know, like she knows that you as you often look at the thing holding the blue flame, and more than anything else that could be coveted inside this place, that she does see that kind of arcane wizardly inquisition of just needing to know what is unknown. And she knows that you would never, she understands you would never try to bring harm purposefully, but also begins to insight and learn your capability, your current power, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And
I will.
and you feel that you have truly befriended a dragon as much as you can in 3 days.
Yeah. I will say on the third day, I guess, Zabolin, I would also confront you and see if I can take a look at your compass rose for the day.
If you're looking at the cameras, he is definitely off screen.
I am not looking at the cameras.
All right, he's definitely off screen. But
Okay.
I think you could get a look at it, and you begin to use this compass rose. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, and that's what I'm doing again on like all of this is on a canvas.
Mumbo's probably my favorite. He's the cutest.
He really is. He's adorable.
All right. Draven and Eobard. Who's next?
Draven.
Oh, okay. What would you like to do?
I think during this whole process of time, I'm going back and forth between the library, studying up on spells, trying to understand the weave and the magic of this world.
Your
being that I
magic
haven't been
does
here.
not come from the weave. Your magic is a
put-
divine gift. And so understanding more of the weave would be understanding more of arcane. You are of divinity. So just so you know, those are two different things. You are
Fair.
granted a power that is not of the weave. It is something else entirely. You notice that like there are certain things that Darius can do, and the way that Darius manipulates his magic is not the same. He's almost doing chemistry, right? Or like particle physics or something. Yours is not like that. Yours is miraculous, without explanation or need of explanation. Yours is something entirely different. But if you would like to understand more of that, you can. I just to preface that.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I was trying to get at.
Okay.
Was more to understand what's going on with this world because I haven't been here for nearly 70 years.
No one made the lightning rod.
So, sorry, man. You can only do the one, right? What would you? What are you trying to? What are you trying to understand? I love this. This is you're giving the DM an opportunity for lore dump. This is fucking great. I love this. I love you as a player. You are the best. I love you as a person too. I just want you to know that.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah. But like, this is awesome. I could not ask for like a better thing for my player to do.
We found Justin's favorite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But being that I wouldn't really understand after 70 years of being away how magic worked for me back then, because I don't even really remember a whole lot of my past life.
So the magics that of Yara were divine as well. Inherent. And at its core, like deeper than the weave, older than the weave, even. So like the high elves of the Elden Vale have a hybrid of this, right? Being around for hundreds and hundreds of years. Some even, what's 1,000 years? Millennia? No? Yeah.
No, that's 100, I think.
That's a century.
That's a millennium.
Oh, century.
Millennia.
No, it's
Some nearing a millennia, right? Centuries. These high elves would live, and they have begun to they were one of the first civilizations to take and ritualize divinity and make it like and begin to understand the weave as a hybrid. But Yara, those devout to Yara, I mean, is pure divinity. And ceremony, sacrifice, and ritual are at the core of this. The reverence that you hold gives gods their power. Each soul that Dragorth was able to care for made him stronger. Each time he was able to encounter mortal essence, and each time that there is a reach toward a god, they become stronger. The more that they are known, the more that they are revered, the more that they are regarded with the will of a mortal, the stronger they are.
And I'll use that knowledge to start creating plans to, when we get to Numestria, begin to spread the word of Dragorth.
Which would in turn strengthen him, his divinity, and yours as well, as a gift from him, right?
We're planning to fight a dragon, and this dude's in the corner praying.
Like writing down words to say during like a wedding and stuff, like good speeches. Oh, that would be great. Yeah. That will really move people.
So I'm gonna throw this out here. This is exactly what Draven plans on doing to the dragon. He's going to go up, hand on
serenade it.
The power of Christ compels you. And
Yeah.
That's
He's gonna excise the.
Okay.
you do learn about, and you see other like forms of like exorcism. You begin to read about other forms of like maybe forgotten religion, how in the sink there is a religion that is older than what of the people who lived there before. It was basically westernized by Newa, which is, you know, the goddess of the moon and the goddess of acceptance and change, has become this like almost Catholicism, like westernization, you know, kind of thing, right? But before that, there was an older religion, and you learn about some of their practices of um, the like funeral practices where they would return the bodies back to the earth through scavenging, so that they would not prepare and wrap a body, but rather offer it back to nature, and to have scavengers consume the body and return it, right? And the faster that happened, the more beautiful it was. That there are great spirits that possess people, and these spirits are like guardian angels, right? That you become possessed with the spirit of an ancestor, somebody who upheld some sort of tenet of humanity, um, of 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 celebration or of passion, and you could completely forget. Oh, you have to go, Sabolin?
My dog ran off, and I'm trying to look for him right now. I did a lap around the neighborhood real quick, but I did not
No,
find
go,
him.
no, go. Bye, bye.
All right.
Go get your dog. Bye. Um, you learn that there is uh, there are these ideas of uh, like these spirits that would possess people, not evil, but they would completely lose consciousness, and they would, you know, in like the celebrations of dance, become completely possessed by ancestors. Um, and that this was an accepted thing. This was like a gift to be possessed. But then there were ones that would consume you of you know, vengeance, or of of greed, and those were ones that would need to be excised, as you would covet thy neighbor's wife, or you would covet thy neighbor's riches, and you would or you would you know, like these you would harbor ill will towards those around you, but it would not be of yourself, rather, but this great spirit that was never laid to rest. So you learn about these rituals of like older religions as well as new ones, and you think that, you know, these souls were just never brought to Dragorth as they needed, and have been stuck here unnaturally so.
I think that'll lead us to Eobard.
So I've made a slight alteration. Please don't hate me, Justin. I would also like Runara in on this conversation.
All right, what's going on? You went on Runara's conversation?
No, I want Runara with me and Velma and Simon for this conversation.
You want me to do Runara, Velma, and Simon in the scene when I've avoided like role playing any of the NPCs? Okay. Set the scene for me. Set the scene for me, and I'll get in it. I can do that.
Okay.
And Darius,
gone...
Darius, you want to be there?
No.
If Darius wants to be there,
and
he
the
can.
Beatles. And the
And
Beatles.
yeah, and
like...
the Beatles. And I need Mumpo and Fleb and. No, I'm kidding.
It's actually Mumpo, Blep, and Frub, and so because you can't even remember their names, you don't get them.
Well, I just want Mumpo. That's the cute one.
And just Mumbo, he is the cute one. You need my dagger, my special dagger.
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
He
up
actually
to the top,
stole
and
that
I'm
from
gonna...
Renara's hoard, by the way. A coin. He stole a coin from Renara's hoard, and you learn this, Darius, that she knows that he stole it, but he lets Mumpo think that she does. She lets Mumpo think she doesn't know he stole a coin from the hoard, but she knows.
Oh yeah, the dragon knows every coin that's in the hoard and where it is at all times.
Oh yeah.
You just think that her little kiddos are cute.
Mm-hmm. All right, so, all right,
So,
Velma and Simon,
Velma and
and it's
Simon.
right, it's Simon and Runara. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so standing here with these three in Simon's lab next to his alchemy set and whatnot, I show all three of them the hallucinogens that Mila made, right, or obtained, whatever.
What you're doing with that? You're supposed to keep your body pure. Do I need to knock
You
some more
are-
sense into you?
No, ma'am. Please give me a moment.
Your eyes haven't.
Mila.
Your eyes still black from the last time.
Mila showed us these. Wouldn't tell us what they did, so we had to try them for ourselves.
Right? It's because she doesn't know what it's Simon. It's because she doesn't know what they do.
Well, and it got me thinking. Can you, Simon, either alter these or come up with something else that we could lather weapons with to be helpful against a dragon? Maybe with Runara's help, she might be willing to share that information, knowing she's amongst friends and none of these will come back towards her. Or even, as Velma can attest, her and I both have the means to generate various elements, whether poison or acid. Maybe something I can use one of these elements to burst out into the air, whether it needs to be entered into the dragon's bloodstream or eaten or inhaled. Just something that maybe we can weaken it, or if lethal, if there's something you know of, anything really. Or just make him see randomness for a few minutes. Give us a chance. Better chance.
Simon sits down on the bed, looks at his feet, and begins rubbing a locket around his chest with one hand, and with the other he touches all of these scars that you know are made from blades, burn marks, and the tattoos that are of his old guild, where he was a maker of poisons for very bad people. He touches those with one hand, and then with the other he holds the locket that has a picture of his daughter in it and looks at his feet. I mean, you did save my life. Right. Do you understand what you're asking of him? He came here. He came here to give up something that ruined him and has become someone else. Just like me, and just like you have decided to be here. You're asking him to do something that killed his daughter. Simon, right, it's fine. I mean, he saved my life. You don't have to do this, right? You do not have to do this, Simon.
I just before
believe in the balance. Choose what you will. I will not intervene. And you need to roll a persuasion check. You're asking Simon to go back to a life that put him in a position to where he almost died.
Can I
killed his
can
daughter
I make this
and
persuasion check?
to go back into a life that he gave up. Whenever now what he does every day is he creates things that bring health and happiness to this village.
Can I make this persuasion check verbally without a roll? And you make the determination as a DM if you think it's good enough.
Renata, are you sure he's ready for the teachings? I mean, do you want me to take him under the tutelage, but to ask Simon of so much? Go ahead. I will allow you to make this persuasion check without rolling if you would like. Or if you do a good job, I'll give you advantage. If you do, and I'll leave this up to our audience here, our other players. You guys tell me what kind of a job he does here.
Velma, Simon, the three of us, brothers and sisters in arms, we know all too well what an angry, out of control dragon can do. Thanks to Renara, we know that this dragon is about to steal the powers of another dragon, getting it that much closer to being the power of Ruth. And I know this kind of alchemy took your child. And all I can think about is how many other children and families and people will be taken if this dragon does get this power. I would not be asking you if it was not absolutely necessary.
Necessity. It's a funny thing.
And again, this can be made in various ways, like I said, whether it is a truly lethal poison or you've given us a way to aerosol these.
I know what you're
And I
asking.
hold them back.
I know what you're asking. I know it can be made in many ways. I remember.
Ultimately,
I remember them. Do you? Have you seen someone bleed from the eyes? Begging for life? Have you seen someone convulse because of what you have done?
I have not. And if we were to use this against people, I get it.
You would bring me into this. You're right to do so because if I make it, I did it. I killed them, not you. I did.
Does that not make it all the better, though? You get to be the one to save countless lives by helping us take down this dragon.
I get to kill somebody.
Something.
You would say then that a dragon is not worth your humanity. Renara looks at you. We are just a thing.
Not when it's stepped across this line of evil.
I told you, he wasn't ready for this. His understandings of ethics, he hasn't read any of the books. This is... There is no such thing as good and evil. Not until you put a thing on it. Not until you decide.
But there are actions that clearly display one or the other, no?
Is to hurt something evil. Is to kill something evil.
Stealing the powers is evil. And if we get there too late, it'll be too strong. And then we fail, we perish. Dragon's Rest potentially falls, and off to the rest of Numestria. I don't see another. Even if we just hold it as an absolute last resort. Whatever stipulations are necessary to wield this weapon.
The stipulation. The stipulation is me going back to a life that I gave up. You would truly ask this of me. If you saved my life, you gave me a chance at doing something better. Alright then. I have heard your plea. I'm gonna make you roll. I am of a bias. But I am not the only audience member here. Life rocks. What do you think, knowing of Runara, follower of the god of indifference and balance, Velma, who forsworn an oath to become the leader of a rogue company against corruption, and then gave up that life to study to give up that life and came here to study philosophy of humanity, and Simon, who the last time used his abilities in this way killed his own daughter. knowing of this, but his life was saved. He does owe you a boon, right? What do you feel? How does this roll go? What do you guys think the story is?
Life. I will let you answer first, Life.
I honestly feel like this is a straight roll, because regardless of the argument, this is something that's not gonna be wanted to be done by anyone of the group.
So for me, I think the speech started off well, leaning towards advantage, and then he flopped halfway through, and just did not read the room. So
I think you did a good. I think your speech was very good. Faded.
Yes.
Faded.
Yeah,
I think you did a very good.
I
That was an
agree.
amazing role playing moment. You did a very, very good job.
Yes.
Hey, all
And-
I'm saying,
yes.
Toru in chat, Super Toru liked it. So if I can get bonus points for that one.
Oh, did it? Hold on. Toru liked it. Toru, what do you think? Advantage, disadvantage, straight. We'll wait. We'll throw your army. No, it's like in the Infinity Stone, the power of the alchemy should be forgotten. There's always another alternative. Oh, that's one towards Army Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hey, shut up.
So
That's Tang. Is that Tang?
That's
Oh, it's
Ted.
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 One of our boys.
All right. Hey, look, he's an audience member too. I mean, this is like the story plays out how the story plays out. It's so strange that Ted is it's wild to me that without combat that this has been so engaging. You guys, our viewers are much more mature than I thought.
So I will say that. So like I said, the actual speech itself had good and bad. So for that, I would lean towards a straight roll. Now
What DC?
with Runara and Velma, while their opinion matters, wouldn't be the ones actually necessarily contributing towards.
They're
making
definitely gonna
the
let Simon make his own decision.
Right.
They're definitely
Now,
not gonna
as
sway
for-
him either way. They're just gonna support
Right.
him.
And as for Simon, right, as a character, he's done a lot of things that caused a lot of pain. To include, right, causing the loss of his own child.
And wife.
Right. Family, just as
Lost
a whole.
everything.
Right.
I like Super Toru's answer.
Yeah,
Now,
Toru's
that
with it,
said-
bro. Toru, by the way, Toru, I've spoken at length to Toru about the way that he runs his games, and he runs like a modern superhero game. His storytelling is so much more deep than mine. It is so wild.
Now that
What
said,
phrase did I miss?
this would allow
a clutch
an opportunity
phrase. Oh
for
no.
redemption. I think this could be an opportunity of redemption from Simon's perspective.
That's where I was trying to turn the thing anyway.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
does
so-
rest on Simon. It's just that you brought in Velma and to Velma to witness it, who is definitely against it.
Yeah.
And you brought in Runara, who is indifferent, and will and allows you the space to be yourself, to do what you do.
Yeah.
The hope was that dependent on the type of whatever is made, Velma could help work a way to utilize.
Velma will not, I don't think, help you.
No.
Velma will not help Simon do something
Yeah.
that brings him back to his past, just because of how her past is, right? Like she would
Yeah.
she was shaking angry, and she didn't like
To
herself when
give,
she held Zabolin over the edge and stuff, and it's so dangerous to break back to the thing you're trying to give up, and she's on that, she's on that kind of vibe.
No, we're gonna have a
Yeah,
great
so
scene
to
with
give context from my perspective, right, I'm thinking this along the lines of Kill Bill,
Mhm.
where Beatrix, guys, spoilers for a really old movie. Beatrix like goes and talks to the guy who makes the katanas, the guy who said, "I'm never going to make another one," and like had a essentially blood oath to it, and got him to do it because said that you caused Bill, so I need you to help me stop him.
Yeah.
Right. This is along the same lines of what you're trying to ask.
So what do we think the
Simon,
DC is? What do we think the DC is?
Except for
We'll lower the DC. Toru said lower the DC, make it easier. So what do you guys think the DC would be? -2.
well, so yeah, I would say probably like 17 or 18, because Simon didn't cause this dragon, but
No.
this is an opportunity to atone for past sin. So like I would still say it's hard.
It's an opportunity
maybe
for him to
because-
repay his debt, is what it is.
Right.
And if this is the way
Right.
that you're asking him to repay it, his life for another's is not exactly high on his list. He would almost certainly die instead of kill somebody else again.
Yeah.
But it is a debt to be repaid, and you're standing here earnestly asking him. So
I don't want him to feel like he has to repay it.
He does
because
though.
I saved his life.
He does though. I know what you want, but you can't control another's wants.
know.
You know, and that's just that's the space
I
he's
want to
in.
make sure
He
I'm
feels
clear.
I
That
know.
I've at least attempted to reassure him that this has nothing to do with saving his life.
But that's not how he feels, you know? That's just not how he's
That's
going to
not
feel
how.
about it.
Well, that's also not how you stated it.
Yeah, that's not how you
Yeah.
stated it either.
You chose your words to take place of a role. So your words verbatim, like,
Yeah.
is
No, it's
what
fine. No,
Eobard
it's fine.
said.
Well, no, and I don't. And no, well, we don't want to like because that might discourage roleplay over rolling, right?
That's
so I
true.
think what we're
That's
gonna
fair.
do,
That's fair.
is we're gonna do a DC. What's your bonus to persuasion?
0.
We're gonna do a DC 15. We're gonna do a
Minus
DC.
2 or
Okay.
No,
straight?
that's with everything all included. We're gonna do a DC 15. We're gonna do DC 15, which is like so 15, 16, 17, 18, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 6 numbers. Or you could just pick 6 numbers on a D20 and roll the dice. There's 6 numbers on this dice that are good enough for you. So you can do what you want with that.
Feeling lucky, punk? You feeling lucky, punk?
Not lucky enough.
Did you use your inspiration from last session? Cough, cough. Big bunny, no
don't have it.
whammies. Oof.
And should have asked the person with guidance to come and accompany you for the conversation.
I didn't get it.
Ha ha ha. Rip.
Yeah, someone's sitting in the corner fucking writing down wedding speeches. Yeah.
We can you didn't I would say we could retcon it, but you specifically didn't ask
It's fine.
unless you
It's
guys
fine.
unless you want the guidance.
No, it's good. I don't need it. I have a plan in my back pocket.
Okay. So
You might tell me I can't do it, but I'm.
no,
gonna
it's
do
okay.
it.
No,
I'm
I won't.
trying.
I will never tell you you can't. You can always go for it. But this was a tough one, dude. I love this scene. I'm not gonna say I don't love it, regardless of outcome.
All right.
This
let's see it.
was
You all right?
heavy. This was like some of the most heavy NPC
Dude, I
involvement
can't
and like
fucking
growth. He can't even look. All right, let's go. He's gonna roll. He's gonna click the wrong thing.
I clicked.
15.
15.
You got 15.
Let's go! Beats it, baby! Let's go!
Hey, wait, hold on. I gotta double check something.
Poor Simon.
It's because you rolled to the dice gods at the start of this. I want you to know that. Like, he had a 12, 12, a 16, 9, and a 4. You got him out of the way.
Right. Leave me. Come to me on the 3rd day, and I will have what you are looking for.
Simon, I would like to reassure you, this will not be used unless absolutely necessary.
This will not leave this island. You will return to me the vials empty or full. This will not leave this island.
You have my word.
I have work to do.
And now I'm gonna go get yelled at by Velma.
He kisses.
Oh,
He
yeah.
kisses his amulet.
Velma is gonna beat the shit out of you in this montage.
He kisses his amulet. Forgive me. And a single tear kind of pours down his face as he begins to work. And then yeah, Velma just straight up goes hard. Goes a little too hard in training over the next 3 days. She goes a little rough in training.
Draven is
Just
using
come by
all of his
every
spell
once in a while,
slots.
spare the dying.
Yeah.
She just yells out from the top of the temple, just cleric.
All right. So because Zabolin has had an emergency and has had to step away. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move into the last little segment of this. There are, and I will tell you exactly how this last encounter will go. This is, as you guys kind of scope out, we'll go straight to the third day. Also, if there's any kind of regular or mundane equipment that you guys need or would like, it's available, right? You guys can't go to a shop or something, so if you want like Alchemist's Fire, or you want a new weapon or whatever it is to kind of like these kind of non-magical but like cool things, Mila is able to provide a couple, like Alchemist's Fire, or like flasks of oil, or
Silver powder?
Silver powder. You can get some silver
She
powder.
have a really long piece of metal?
Other than the 4-foot rod that you already have.
Yeah, I just want like another 5 feet.
Well, you
Um,
gave me the 4-foot iron rod at the start of the 3 days,
Uh,
and I am
roll-
actually
roll
planning on
a
utilizing
d20.
it.
Just roll a d20. We'll see. We'll see. A 1. No, absolutely not. She doesn't have any iron. She doesn't have any long metal rods. I'm so sorry. But like anything, like fishing net or
Do you have a
rope.
big spear?
A spear, yeah. You can have a spear. Yeah, you can absolutely have a spear. I think harpoon is more of what you're trying to get at.
Didn't mean to do that.
Is it
Whatever.
metal?
On the end, yeah. There's like a little spear tip on the end.
You know what? I'll take a harpoon. So harpoon is a
Oh,
simple weapon.
when do you show it to him?
As we're getting ready to leave on the third day, because Eobard gave me the 4-foot metal rod.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you make a banner for him.
I'm gonna make a banner for Eobard. That is going to be the very end, and then the metal rod is going to go into a wooden shaft to kind of give it extra reach. And because of what Eobard wanted and said on the first day, can I roll an intelligence check or something to angle the metal in such a way that it would redirect the lightning away?
It will draw it in for sure. It's a lightning rod. You have a big metal
Right.
lightning rod. On the end of this banner, he was a bannerman. This is cool. Are you proficient in Tinker's tools? Are you proficient in anything like that?
I am not.
You're showing it to him on the third day, so you can't have Eobard help you. Right?
Correct.
I will say this: if you show,
I spent 3 days getting my ass whipped.
yeah. I will say this: I will let you guys do something with this banner because it's so cool and it's so pertinent. Eobard, go ahead and roll me a d20. Add a intelligence modifier, wisdom modifier, dexterity modifier, something along those lines, whichever one you prefer, plus your proficiency, because you're proficient in Tinker's tools. And we'll see how cool.
D20 plus 4.
Okay, cool. and we'll see how cool this thing is. Get a nat 20, and it's epic.
Oh,
It's slash
I
R.
don't-
You can just roll. You can just
Yeah.
click the roll d20, and we can add 4 to it.
Two in a row?
The
Oh
dice
my
gods
God.
giveth and they taketh away. They were mad about you
Bruh.
making Simon do this. They were mad about you making Simon do the thing that he gave up, bro. It's so heartbreaking. It really
I
is.
just want to say, I asked for Darius to have made this.
I know. Well, no, but basically it's fine. It's made, but
Yeah.
he wasn't able to make it purposeful, like toward, other than it just being this big metal rod. But he presents you. If you guys you can
So
put
I
it in chat. Put it in chat. Put it
Oh,
in this
jeez.
chat. Put it in this chat, bro.
Well, I was wanting you to add it to like our character loot, like one of
Oh,
those
yeah,
things.
I can do that.
That's
Copy
why I sent
image.
it
Oh,
over.
okay. There we go. I got
That's
you.
why I sent it over Discord,
I got you.
so that way you can add it in game in the journal.
Got you. So we're gonna
Words.
add a handout. We're gonna go here. We're gonna paste in
So
there.
name
Fucking
is
double
TBD, but this is what Darius has been spending like the past 4 or 5 days, like in his journal sketching, when asking for like Draven for his holy symbol, or Zabolin for the compass, why he wanted to, or one of the reasons why he wanted to paint Runara. Like this is what he was creating, and it is a banner with elements that represent each of us, kind of coming together.
Ah, yes!
Sugar like it.
For Eobard and the hooligans.
Yeah.
Banner of
And
the
so-
hooligans.
And so he fastens this to the like 4-foot iron rod, shaping it so that way it flows nicely, and then putting the iron into a longer like spear shaft or something akin to those line, and then presenting that to Eobard so that he can once again be our bannerman for this battle.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the banner?
It's dope. I like it.
Hey, that was all rocks, by the way. This was
I love
Rox's design. Oh God, this was Rox's design, by the way.
Yeah.
Rox has been spending weeks on this, guys. Maybe 2
Yes.
months.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months. He had this idea a long time ago and been slowly working it in. That's what he's been keeping from you guys, hidden in his little journal as he's writing on stuff, and why he's been stealing stuff from you and giving it back. This is what Darius has been working on. Something to unite the whole group behind.
Yeah. And Justin's been helping me as well behind the scenes, kind of help piece all this stuff together.
Yeah.
So
I forgot how good it looked, dude. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right,
This
so
was
Mulder-
amazing design.
We'll print this out. We'll take it to a tattoo artist, and we'll both get it on our shoulder blade.
hard pass, bro.
Bro, it's like we have to get that. We have to go to level 20 now. Shit.
So yeah,
Just get it on your neck, dude. Just get it right on your neck. You guys have a
Right on my
falling
forehead.
out. You just mark out the lion's head. Like
Just
an X's
scratch out
name.
the
Yeah,
wolf.
yeah, like an X's name.
Who's
Yeah.
the fish?
So the fish is Zabolin because he comes
Tilapia
from
soup,
a
carp.
he comes from a village
all-
of fishermen. So
Yeah.
so because and I kind of a little unfortunate that Zabolin's not here. Real life issue. We'll definitely be telling now that this is kind of a thing. Because his character is kind of like the heart of our group, right? So you have the compass rose in the background that represents him bringing us together, as well as the fish representing him and his village and family of fishermen. You've got
I love the
wolf
carp.
head.
I love
Yes.
that. That's such an underutilized animal.
Yeah. You've got the lion, which represents Darius because his family and merchant guild is the lion's share.
Oh, is that a
Um,
lion?
Yeah, that's
I
a
thought it was a wolf.
lion with a.
Hmm.
You've got the raven's head as well as like some um, like dead
Decaying floor.
yeah, flowers and stuff, which represents Draven. I also like the image of the Raven because it's the exact opposite of like his armor and stuff. Whereas Draven is all black with a white porcelain mask. This is the opposite of a black face with a white body, as like a negative to Draven because he comes from the astral. So he's, it's he doesn't come from the mortal realm at this point anymore. And then you have the dragon bust for Eobard because of all of his dealings with dragons throughout his life. You've got, I think it was a black dragon that cursed him with the blue flame, and now that's been cured. So there's like little accents to kind of represent this bronze dragon who he's now um, trying to take after and learn from. So it kind of tries to encapsulate all of us and aspects about us.
I love it.
All right. So, guys, as we're looking at this,
And so this is what Darius is kind of saying in person as I presenting this to Eobard again, just outlining all the different aspects of us as he's kind of like his voice is like choked up a little bit as he's presenting this.
so as we look at, um, as we look at, uh, does it, if I close this, does the cameras go away? No, okay. That was just a weird thing. Rods of iron can magnetize it. Toru's over here like giving us some chemistry. Like, like something that could push him. Okay. Mirrors. Yeah, just mirrors. Just Ted just says mirrors. Mirrors
Yes.
and electricity are classic.
Yeah, we're gonna get panes of glass out there, and he's
Yeah.
gonna breathe lightning, and we're just gonna bounce it around.
Yeah. Don't cut yourself. Don't drop those and have giant fucking razor blades in your hand and trip. Make Darius hold just a giant like razor blade basically if he goofs. All right. So
Yep.
as you guys come to you see the let me actually pull up an image of the orrery. See if I have one here. I actually know that I have one. I just gotta find it. Maybe it's probably not. Not in the cryptex. Not in alchemy. Not in dragons. Not in there. Probably in my Discord. Let me just pull this up real quick. Sorry, I'm very unorganized. NBD. It will be here though.
Guys, I got Simon to make that poison.
Yeah, everybody's really happy about that part of the story. Everybody feels really good about it.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about it, but means to an end.
Justin was being sarcastic. It's
Means to an end.
All right. I hate that I have to do this weird thing to like. All right, I like do this. Make this like super
bruh,
small.
those nat ones, man.
back to back.
I know.
That happened to me last week, I think, on our Wednesday game.
Well, that happened to Zabolin in this the other day too, where he got back-to-back nat ones trying to offhand attack.
Why can't we
Oh.
ever get back-to-back nat 20s?
Oh, I already had it. Well, there you go. So, as you
that's-
approach the edge of a sheer cliff top on the northern point of the island, the fog now completely cleared, you see as the alignment is getting closer and closer, and you approach by night, as this place is teeming with hundreds of kobolds flying around, moving about. You can hear them yipping and just the general chatter of hundreds of creatures kind of talking and moving around. At the top, in a sphere, kind of moving around and spinning with rings moving around it, kind of like one of those things that you get inside and like all these rings spinning around gyroscopically, these pillars kind of absorbing the energy. You can see arcing red energy like flying around and being contained in these large crystals, and the shadow of a blue dragon kind of sailing around the mountains. You get up to the edge undetected, and what you see in front of you on this map is a huge encampment, hundreds and hundreds of feet across, thousands of feet across or more. I will not be placing your tokens on this map, nor if you do encounter any battle will I be having a battle map here. There are several encampments all across this place, and as you look across it, you see that some of them are abandoned, eggs hatched and discarded. You see tunnels burrowing around in the ground. A creature, maybe 15 or 18 feet long, as kind of pokes its head up out of the ground, a large rhinoceros horn, reptilian scales, and kind of crocodile-esque features. This dragon-esque kind of dog, right? Explodes out of the ground, grabs one of the kobolds that are just like off working in a group, burrowing back into the ground, wild and untamed. You see at the front gates several kobolds moving carts in and out. So you see like carts being with covered, like these covered carts being moved in, and some of them empty being moved out, going to the various different encampments, moving in supplies back and forth. You see all these wrecked ships up here, right? And as as you're looking at it, you see the blue dragon, Sparkrender, sailing with a ship in its claws, kind of approaching the top of this observatory, ready to drop it onto the ground to be collected. The orrery is beginning to charge. You see off to the left side several kobolds with kind of casting spells and like trying, and there's a small orb there, maybe 30 feet in diameter, and they seem to be like working on it or trying to open it. You see a spark from it, and one of them like goes flying back 100 feet, like covered in smoke and lightning. No, that's not it. As they are trying to looks like they're trying to access it or open it. You also see on the right side in this tower, there are several winged kobolds carrying crates and buckets, flying up to the top, to the second story, dropping stuff off, some of them like hanging off the side, in and out as they move about. So there are a couple points of egress here. This encounter is how you would like and we won't be doing this session. But you guys can plan, you guys can think, but how you would like to move across this place to get into the observatory. The top open, able to be accessed by flying creatures quite easily, but also hundreds and hundreds of feet tall amidst arcane energy arcing, rings spinning and moving. This thing is not only an observatory, but an arcane machine in itself, in and of itself, moving in all various directions, gears churning as large as ships themselves. It is a extremely complex arcane device. It seems ancient, and it seems like the creatures that are trying to mess with it don't quite understand the power that they have at their fingertips. But they are doing so because they are part of Sparkrender's horde. But there are hundreds of kobolds across this place. You also see that at several of these locations there are large horns. You would assume that these are warning systems to let others know of potential intruders. So, if you would like to run straight down the middle, you will be. There's going to be also. You're on a clock. Okay. So, I will be placing a clock up here, and it will basically be a circle that's divided up like a pie. And each time you fail or succeed at something, each time you go to do something, a portion of that pie will get filled in. If you are extremely successful, maybe the clock won't move. If you are super, like, if it's a really bad fail, maybe two portions of it begin to fill. There will be several of these clocks, but the largest of them will be the completion of the ritual. So you're on a bit of a time crunch, right? So the first thing is how you would like to enter into this place, right?
Can you ping on the map that you're showing, like, where we are, air quotes here, standing currently? I'm assuming we're on like the south bit.
Yeah. I would say you guys have approached here. You're basically teleported in, or you climb, or whatever, and you kind of come up facing right here. So, just a couple things here. Running straight down the middle would be the fastest way, but would also almost assuredly you would be noticed, and the warnings might go off. If they're warned, that doesn't mean the ritual can go any faster, right? Because you're waiting on the planetary alignment to gain full power. But it does mean that you may, like, more and more resources might need to be spent as you have to battle your way up to the top. Sneaking around might mean that maybe you spend more of your clock, but you reserve those resources, hit points, spells, key points, as you begin to move into it. And then once inside, finding your way to the top, there is another map and encounter. And then after you find your way to the top, the final fight in the Dragon's Lair at the top of the observatory with Sparkrender, which is.
Can you ping the location of the horns for me?
Of which one?
The horns?
Oh, yes, there's at every single one of these. There's some up here as well. See, all of these, like, locations where there are
A nest, essentially.
a nest, yes. At the front gates, over here, and over here. And then down here at this little tunnel. So basically where there's, like, these little nests and, like, where they are all gathered. essentially entering into the place without warning would mean that there's less chance. The guards won't be alerted. They won't be assuming that there's people in here. So encountering them would be at an advantage of of them having their guard down. Having those horns means that once you enter in, there's whatever's inside is prepared for you. Also at this front gate is another of those uh, um, like the tunneling kind of alligator dragon dog things, chained, seeming to be somewhat tamed and contained here. The other one, it doesn't seem like they haven't got it in chains yet, right? It's kind of just roaming about.
What tunneling alligator dragon?
There is
or
a
dog?
giant tunneling, like it's like 15 feet, 20 feet long, and it looks like a blue dragon mixed with a like tunneling rhinoceros, basically.
Okay,
And-
it's just the way you said it made it sound like we had encountered one before. and I
No,
was
no,
like,
no.
wait,
It's the one I explained earlier. But I know I've explained a lot. So this will be the
This
first
cackle,
series.
this cackle is because I think I have an idea as to what the hell this is, and God, that is terrifying, and I love it.
You think it's a bullet, don't you? You think it's a
Yeah.
bullet? It's not a bullet.
I
It's not a bullet.
I was gonna say.
I specifically chose a creature that you probably don't know.
Well, I was thinking like you custom made a bullet
Mhm.
and like infused it with dragon-esque abilities, which would be
Mhm.
horrifying, and I'd be
Uh-huh.
all for it.
So I actually, one of the things I did was I actually have an encounter for a bullet. But anyway, so this is what you guys will be prepared for. This will be the last encounter.
I've
So
got
I
my
think
plan to get inside.
so I think we should plan to, if possible, potentially start earlier. We'll talk to Zabolin to finish it out or play later, one of the two, and so that we can fully finish the encounters.
I'm down for it.
Plan to get inside, plan to get to the top, plan to kill the dragon.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Nice.
Right.
And any plans you make, there is one more mechanic. You don't have to plan everything out 100% extremely perfectly. There is an action that you can take. This is from a different game called Blades in the Dark. And you could just have a flashback scene. Okay? So, Simon made those poisons for you. I'm not going to tell you exactly what they are, how they work, and all of that, right? You have 2 of them. You can flashback and be like, this is how they are when necessary, because you don't know what the fight's going to be like, right? And it would be sucky if we made it and then or if I specifically made it like, weak or strong in the fight. But instead, I'm going to leave that up to like your guys' creative storytelling in the moment. But it'll be it's like a resource expenditure, and you can do this once, right?
Once as a group or once per player?
Once per player. To be like, oh yeah, I brought a cloak that's big enough to cover us all, or you know what I'm saying? Because you have access to
Yeah.
resources. I brought some alchemist's fire or something. Like you have access to like certain things, but you don't know what you're gonna need. So this is part of like this is part of a infiltration mission, right? Like you're infiltrating. I'm not going to make you guys plan out because the first thing that's going to happen is your whole plan's going to get fucked, right? By a dice roll or by it's not what you thought it was. So don't plan Rocks. Look the camera in the eye right now. Rocks. Don't plan everything out exactly as it goes. Keep your mind open, keep it fluid. Know that you can flashback. Know that you're going to be getting more information than what you could ever possibly plan for. You don't know what's at each of these camps.
I've already got a plan to get inside.
Yeah,
I'm just
Same.
over here thinking to myself, I'm gonna be over here pretending this is Metal Gear Solid, where it's stealth mission.
You're just gonna get in
and
a
they're gonna
box.
be and they're gonna be over here like Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
Can they see us from atop of the? I don't even know
He
what you
said
call
we
this.
snuck up there.
Right
He-
now
he
you're
said we
right
snuck
now
up
you're
to the
not
bridge.
seen. Okay, we're gonna start out
Yeah.
with it. We're gonna start out. You're not seen, and you haven't moved in, and all of that. And you guys get to make the first
Yeah.
move. It's a reactionary thing, right? You guys make a move, you get, and then there's gonna be a reaction. You guys make a move. It's not good. It's not actively happening, right, at you. That's what the clock's for. That's what
Yeah.
our clock's for.
I mean, I've got us inside
Yeah.
really quickly. Unless you spring something on us.
Potentially.
Well, we don't know all the information. It's what
Yeah,
he's
that's
just said.
part of it. Yeah, it's part of it. It's like reactionary. It's part of that. As you guys move forward and as you guys decide to do things, like there's stuff about this that you just don't know and can't know until you choose. Like, I'm not gonna explain every single encounter at every single one of these sites because you're not gonna go to all of them. You're only gonna go to
Yeah.
like a couple of them, right? Before you even get in there. So.
What are you talking about? I don't plan to go to any of them.
But you're not the only person that's part of your team, and that may not be the best for your other teammates.
I have
know.
things and stuff that I already have
All right.
mentally.
All right,
noted.
guys. I think that's going to be the end of this episode.
Yep.
I had a blast. I had a terrible time
Same.
role playing that scene. Not a terrible time. I had an amazing time role playing that heartfelt just scene. That was. I actually had to not lean into it. I had to lean out of it a little bit because Fade, I love you, man, and I didn't want to. I was like, man, I don't want to lean into this as heavy as it feels. I didn't want to have my hand that hard on the scale, It was,
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I don't like being in that position, but
but
after
nothing.
looking
Somebody
at the
once
items,
said.
I felt like I needed it more.
Somebody once said, nothing matters. What you say doesn't matter before the word but. Hey, Kaihira, what's up? In at the end.
Greater good.
The greater good, huh?
That's what it all came down to.
All right, guys. Well, everybody watching, thank you so much for sticking with us. Love you guys. And we'll see you next week for the final episode of the Dragons of Stormwreck Isle.